how did you stay alive? Like you talk about doing certain things, and I'll just ask you right now without even letting you answer and then following up. But knowing some of those things you say, like right away, people are gonna be like, no, like I'm not with that. Quentin, Q, he's selling out. That's not right. That's not gonna help black people. That's gonna put us down more. Like, how do you combat these two things? Like, you stayed alive, and we've seen in our country instances where there's men and women, black men and women, who haven't stayed alive. Just talk about that dispute, that back and forth in the black community.
Yeah, so it's when I came out with my book is called A Survival Guide: How Not to Get Killed by the Police. When I came out with that book with that kind of a title, I came out with that book because I used to represent, still do, entertainers and athletes who at times would go back to their old neighborhoods with a little bit more money than they should have, a bigger car than they should have, perhaps, a lot of jewelry, and they would stand out, and then they would hang out with some of their old friends who weren't doing the legitimate things that they were doing. And it would be 2 a.m, and I would get these calls, and they would be pulled over because they're hanging out with the wrong guys, and they would say, how do I not get killed, Q? How do I not get killed by the police? So when I came out with the book, I said, that's what I'm calling it, How Not to Get Killed by the Police. And that title, for some reason, with both law enforcement and the communities, especially challenged communities, it created a stir. Because with law enforcement, there was a supposition that I was saying law enforcement is willy-nilly killing people. And then with the communities were saying you're victim blaming. So I had to come with authenticity to them and tell them why I wrote this book, which was to save my son's life. I needed my son to get home safely, and that's all I could think about. I wrote this book before he was born, but I wanted to have these conversations with my son when he turned 8 years old. He's about to turn 8 years old, to teach him about relationships, to teach him about how to engage with the police, to teach him about comply, and then complain later, because I just wanted him to be safe. And so this is a pro-law enforcement book. It's a pro-community book. But that's why I came out with this, to save my son's life. And then it just morphed into something bigger than a book. And it morphed into this initiative where we go around and we actually teach law enforcement how to serve better. I don't like the word policing. I hate it. Because policing assumes something. And it was connected to overseeing. That's what that word is. And we know what overseeing means. So I like the word serve. I'm very much attuned to words, and service is what law enforcement should be providing, not policing.